everybody, what is going on? It is me. Happy New Year's and all of that good stuff, guys. Listen, we got a lot to talk about, but today, I know I always say I have a special guest, but today I really have a special guest. This gentleman I really admire, and I've been admiring for some years. We grew up together, we were friends together, we joked together, we did a lot of things, and I am honored that he is on the show, and he is going to tell his story his way. Guys, please help me welcome Mr. Ron Montgomery to Lambert House documentary. Hey Ron, what's going on?
Oh, how you doing today?
I'm good. You are in the spotlight.
Really?
You are. But
be quick.
It's been a long time coming, guys. So, Ron Montgomery, the Montgomerys, everybody know the Montgomerys in Lambert. If you don't know the Montgomerys, you did not live in Lambert. You did not live in Lambert if you do not know the Montgomerys. Sorry.
That part.
That's deep and that's real. So, Ron, I know your story, but you're going to tell everybody your story. People don't know your story, they know you. When did your family move to Lambert?
I think we moved to Lambert like in 1972.
Okay.
72. I know when we moved in there, we was like the fifth family in my building.
Wow.
It was still brand new, like wasn't too many people in my building like when we moved.
Right.
I think it was 72 if I'm for sure. But I'll say 72.
Yeah. 72. Or 73, I think they both.
Oh, 73, yeah. It might have been 73 to be honest with you.
And where did y'all come from? What did y'all come from?
Well, we used to live over there on the other side of Boston Road, near Forest Project, Home Street.
Okay.
So basically we started in Brooklyn. My mother and father migrated from North Carolina, and they just picked up and moved to Brooklyn, which my father had a best friend there. And then we stayed there in Brooklyn. I actually was born in Brooklyn. Okay. And then we moved to the, my mother met this lady named Miss Agnes, and we moved to the Bronx. We lived on Home Street next to Forest Projects.
Okay.
And then from Home Street, we moved over there near Jefferson Place, was still next to on Boston Road, like 165th, somewhere around there. We moved over there.
Okay.
Like up the hill from the 9, Claremont Projects.
Okay. And when you moved to Lambert Houses, what was your first thoughts about Lambert?
Man, when I moved there, I thought we like hit the lotto or something. I ain't gonna say lotto back there. You didn't know about the lotto, but it was like, wow. And then we moved in there, and then we had the upstairs and downstairs. I was like, whoa, this is a big change, you know? It was like it was a crazy experience just moving into the project, into there, you know?
And so when you moved in, you have brothers and sisters, right?
Yeah, I have 3 sisters and 2 brothers.
Okay, shout out to the Montgomerys. So what was the atmosphere like when you moved there?
It was okay. The atmosphere when we first moved there, basically we stayed on our side, like our side of the project. I really didn't know the others. I knew it exists, but I didn't know it was like people was like living over here, like a lot of people. So my side, it was like it was nice. Everybody, I got to meet my brothers over there. We started building relationships. We all was like a family on my side. We
what side is that? What side?
The red side, 2094. It's across the street from the park.
Okay.
So we moved over there, and it was just fun, man. Like playing on a basketball, on a garbage can. We didn't have no hoops. Just every day coming out playing football in the backyard, and just building. Like it was real nice.
And they have a lot of programs when you grew up there.
Yeah, they have programs. I think up near Tip Park, they read the basketball thing was going on. What's his name? Arthur Cryer?
Yep, Arthur Cryer.
He had a lot of stuff going on. And then in the Lambert Center, they had the karate classes, and there was a lot of programs there. I mean, there was a lot of stuff going on in Lambert at one time.
at one time, yeah. So you would say your experience. How was you say your side? Your side. Was it a big difference in the sides? Like I guess I lived on there.
Yeah, it was a big difference. Like when I say size, not to break Lambert up, it's just like, you know, we used to always say our side. We used to call the sides by green build, like the building. Like across the street from my side, we called the green building, and then it was the dark side, which we didn't call the dark side till later on, but that was the blue side. Where you lived at, we called the yellow side.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we called the yellow side, you know. But because of the, you know, y'all got a yellow building on your side, so we just called the yellow side. But I mean, it was all just one project though. You know. And like when I was growing up, like we stayed on our side and everybody was, you know, just building and getting to know each other, playing together, you know. And then eventually, I guess I was the first one to go across the street, what we call your side, like across the street where they had the basketball court at, next to the center, Lambert Center. So a lot of us were at the time were scared to cross the street to go see who was on the other side of the project. I don't know why. It was just like that.
Was it a fear of like? Was it a lot of gangs or danger?
Nah, it wasn't a fear, nothing like that. I guess that we grew so close together within them years that we was like, you know, it's like a little family. Like, I can't even explain it. Like we just stuck within who we was on that side until we started meeting other people across the street and then just venture up into the project. It's like being in the woods, like being in the jungle. And you don't know the other people, you know, like the other animals and you, whatever. You know, you just go and just let the fear go away and just start mingling and stuff.
And what do you think made your side? Because I know, you know, your side, the red side was really close. You guys seem to be really, really, really close. Not saying it was not, but you guys, you were really, really close. You know, what do you think attributed to that?
I guess what attributed to that, the older people that was on my side, like Tony Lawrence, Shelly Johnson, Lance, like the older dudes, they made like, they taught us to stick together. You know what I'm saying? Like they just said like, yo, you gotta look out for each other. You know, like that's why I think the bond grew. And then there was Morris, Cujo brother Morris, you know, and he was an older brother. He taught us a lot about unity and stuff like that, you know. I guess the older brothers were schooling us to really like stick together, you know. Don't get it wrong, we had a lot of fights over there. But our mothers will get us and put us together again. Like we had a lot of stuff going on over there. Wow. You know.
And do you remember like what was going on, like the music scene at that time?
Yeah, at that time the music scene, Raheem and first I'm gonna say Morris, Cujo brother Morris. It was called the Eminem Crew. Mm-hmm. He was making a name, like far as him and his brother Cujo, they used to go like to Forest Projects, to PEL and all that. So they was making a music movement, and then we had Raheem over there, you know. So I guess we had a nice little music thing going on, you know. And Shy Rock eventually she moved in a project in the blue, you know, on my side in the blue building. But
oh yeah, you had some real music coming up.
Oh yeah, Shy Rock, Raheem, the Eminem Crew for sure, you know, and stuff. But to remind you, like later on, when I was on Boston Road, living on Boston Road, I grew up with Breakout, KK Rockwell, Fat Joe, but I didn't, eventually, it started adding up when people used to say, oh, Breakout is over here. I'm like, Breakout? Who's Breakout? And then they mentioned his government name. I'm like, yo, I grew up with them dudes. So eventually I started going to PAL and seeing these dudes, and I'm like, oh, we grew up together. So as far as the music, I was always close to the people that was growing up in the music. I just then, you know how you grow up with people and you move away from them, you lose time as y'all grow up, y'all go your separate ways. Yeah.
That's like Cool Joe. People want him to come on the show. I'm calling you out, Cool Joe, because we need to do that so he can tell his story.
And he need to come on the show because he has a good story to tell. Like Quasi kept him and his brother Morris. They played a big part in hip hop, like old school hip hop. They played a major part. Like they don't introduce people to people, and they don't. Them brothers was like, God bless the dead, Eminem, rest in peace. But they played a good part. I remember us going to the PAL, and when people was talking about the World Trade Building, we was the first people. Eminem and Cool Joe took us to the World Trade. We played in that. They had a gig in that, but yeah, he need to come on.
Yeah, I'm calling him out because I get requests for him to tell his story. And stop running from me, Cool Joe. Come tell your story.
For sure. But overall, Lambert was like, living in Lambert was something I can never forget, man. Like, I don't grew up with amazing people such as yourself and my best friend Ray and everybody else. Salute to everybody that grew up in the 70s and the 80s and so on in Lambert. I grew up with a lot of good, great people. Despite what everybody got going on in life, everybody's still great, And it was a family. Like Lambert was a family. Like being at the half, and just talking, everybody coming together, playing ball, playing spades, that's like a big family. It's always going to be a big family because I still keep in touch with a lot of people I grew up with, and I know you do the same.
Yeah, you made lifelong friends. I mean, Ray. I didn't realize how close you guys are, and Ray, I'm coming for you too for an interview. Yeah. But I didn't realize how close you guys, are. I mean, Gail is like, I can't even. That's like my sister, you know what I mean? Like, what I do without her. So yeah, it was a place for that. You built friendships, lifelong friendships. But what made you want to leave Lambert? What you left Lambert?
Well, I feel, at the time when I was in Lambert, to me, I think Lambert raised me. The people, like I got raised in Lambert through the community, and I just wanted another change. I just wanted another change for myself. And my cousins and them, they kept coming down from Albany. Like, oh, come to Albany. And at the time, they was running with Mike Tyson. Oh, come up here, you good? And I just moved from Lambert. I just said, let me go and find somewhere, just venture off into something new.
And now where are you?
I'm in North Carolina now. I really didn't want to tell them where I'm at, but I'm in North Carolina.
You could have said this now.
I'm in North Carolina, but I'm in North Carolina now, and I'm on doing the music. Started, my own little independent record label, and that's it.
Tell us about your label. What is your label? Tell us about.
Well, my label's called Southern NYC. It's like the South and New York, Southern for North Carolina, NYC for New York. Being that my parents migrated from the South, so I had to use that in there. It's independent. I got a bunch of artists, but right now I'm working with like 3 artists. And basically, I started the label because I seen a lot of brothers down here in North Carolina. They didn't have no guidance. Like they didn't have no guidance. Like they were just out here gang banging and going crazy. But I know I had their ear. When I talked, they'll listen. So I said, a lot of them do music. So I'm going to start a label called Southern NYC. And basically, I started the label, and my label is basically designed. It's music, and also I'm a mentor to everybody that be a part of Southern NYC, to the younger brothers,
Right, and then to go back a little bit, not to be all in your business, you're a mentor because you understand the hood, you understand the things you have been through in your life that made you come to this point where you are probably effective with mentoring, because I find working with young people, they have to believe that you understand what they're going through for them to listen to you.
Correct.
They have to, I have to pull up the old war stories to get the attention of some of the young high school that I work with, because they understand. So yeah, I'm sure your mentoring is very successful.
Oh, definitely. because the key about mentoring young brothers that's hard-headed, that don't, all they understand is balance, is that me saying for me, I lived that part. And also, I don't know, a lot of people don't know, I did like close to 20 years in prison. And it wasn't because of it, I was because caught up into drugs or whatever, selling drugs, whatever. But I learned a lot over those years. So I'm able to, when I talk, it's not like I'm just talking. I'm able to tell them like, yo, you don't want to go here because of this, because of that. And I just tell them my experience of on my journey, like being locked up, then coming home after all those years, 5 years later, losing my mother, and then losing a father this year. Like a lot of relatives died when I was locked up, you know, so that kind of touched them. And then, you know, I just give them the real, like, you don't want to be locked up because you out here, you can be out here faking, but when you get behind them walls, it gets real. Like, it gets real. And you ain't got no gun, you ain't got none. So a lot of them, I've been really effective to the brothers that my artists is, and eventually it surprised me, they be sending their brothers to me. Like, yo, go talk, they call me OG down here. Go talk to OG, he gonna put you on the right track. So I'll be getting people, brothers, their uncles calling me, asking for advice, or just helping them, you know, tell them, you know, what they should be doing and not doing.
That's amazing. Even with my experience with talking to some of your artists, or, you know, the way they respect you and look up is amazing. You know, we all have journeys in life. We all have assignments. I always say that we have assignments, and you know yours. And what you went through brought you to where you are right now. And you are real effective. People listen to you. You have so many people following you, and that's amazing. I think I don't know, because I really don't go to Lambert, but for what I hear, like we are missing that in Lambert.
Right.
You know, I understand that, you know, they don't have a lot of programs. They don't have, I mean, this documentary is very nice, but once the conclusion of it will be hopefully to get some people to really put a spotlight on Lambert and make sure that they have people in a community that kids could talk to and relate to, not people you putting in a community that kids can't relate to. Not to say that they can't teach them something different, but or share their experience. But I find that it's really effective when kids think they see the same. They need changes. They need changes. And I want to say something also, because like Lambert, when you think about our project, like where we came from, we have powerful people in there now today, you know. And like I think about the music scene, like we got people that really set music off, set the trend for the music to be what it is. And I didn't even mention Donald D. No, Donald D was a major part in hip hop, like major, you know. So, and it probably was Salt and Pepper. Which one? Spinderella? The original Spinderella. Hopefully,
exactly.
I'll interview her really soon. Sharrock. I supposed to
We had really powerful people coming out there. Then you look like we really had trainers. Like you look at Billy Goodwin. He went off to college, and you know he played ball. Everybody wanted to go to. I know I didn't want to go to school, but when I seen him in St. John, I'm like, yo, I need to get my butt in school. I'm trying to ball out. So he was an inspiration to me. Quasi Kept, like he was an inspiration. Even some of the brothers that was in the street, not mentioning no names, you know what I'm saying, but they still was an inspiration to me because I watch. I'm always an observer, so I watch how they move. You can watch how somebody moving crooked, but you can do it in a positive way. You feel what I'm saying? So, I mean, we have powerful people coming out of there.
And that's what makes you powerful. I understand, you know, when you tell me your story, you do different things for the community, you give back to the community. That's amazing. You know, that's a good thing for people to look up to and see, and hopefully they carry on and do the same thing.
Right. My mother once told me, she said, you can't, I used to always try to change people regardless of what I was doing. But she's like, you can't change everybody, but if you just change one person, you've done your job. And that's all I focus on. I deal with a lot of, like in North Carolina, I deal with a lot of artists, like, and New York, but down in North Carolina, I got a lot of artists I deal with. But I just feel if I just change one of them, it's good. But I be seeing good results, because when my artists sing their little brothers to me, that means I've been effective, you know? So that's what it is, you know?
This is an amazing interview, and as I'm gonna let the cat out the bag a little bit, me and Mr. Montgomery have a little business.
Yes, we do.
We do, and we're not gonna talk about it too much.
We're not gonna talk about it yet. We just gonna let them see.
But we definitely we coming out with something, so it should be exciting.
Definitely.
We both love, and we both been, you know, in music, doing music for many, many years. So it's
exactly
a meeting of the minds, like mind thinking. It's all
exactly.
And another thing I want to bring up: what about you have? What do you have going on for Lambert? Because something we talked about.
Well, this is what I had going on for Lambert. Like last year, Ray, Ben, and Oscar. You know, I grew up with all of them. Like Ben, he lived on my side. I grew up with him. He was younger than me, but him, you know, that's my little bro, but he's my bro, right? And Ray is my best friend. I'll die for Ray off the top. And Oscar. Me, Oscar, and Ray hung together real tight in the project. So they came and visited me last year, and we had a little brother reunion. So before we left, we was like, yo, let's do a Lambert in the South, because there's a lot of people in Lambert that lives in the South. I can count off at least 20 people that lived in North Carolina. So we're gonna do a reunion. We're gonna do a South reunion for Lambert. And if anybody want to play a part, you can inbox me or you can inbox her. Because we getting you on board. You're coming on board.
Listen, I have so many hats. I'm doing so many things I didn't even know.
But you can help with this, because I think it'll be a good thing, because, you know, you think of it, we've been having Lambert Day there for a long, long time. There's nothing wrong with keep having it. But also, some people we want to probably get away for the summer or something. But this is not going to take away for the original day. This is something that we doing just to honor just to honor the people in the South, you know.
I get it, and people from all over can travel.
All over, yeah.
Where are you thinking about having it at?
At Myrtle Beach. Thinking about having at Myrtle Beach. You know, you can come down there, and sit at the beach. You know, it's gonna be real nice, because we're gonna make everything convenient for everybody. If you fly in, there'll be transportation to pick you up and drop you off at the hotel. So I'm looking forward to it.
Well,
I really am looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a nice thing, you know?
Yeah.
So you tell me, I need to interview you for a minute. You tell me, what was the best part for you in Lambert?
Oh my gosh. The best part for me in Lambert was, growing up feeling safe, and one of the major parts for me was I met Gail and Judy, and they are, and I met a lot of amazing people.
Right.
Pam is my friend for life. I could go on and on and on and on. But me, Gail, and Judy have a bond that will be a bond for life, you know.
Right.
And Gail, no matter what I've ever been through or whatever, she's always been by my side.
That's good.
Like, so that I could say was even like I'm tearing up when I talk about her, but that is like, she is really, really my friend, you know, and Judy too. We laugh. We can't even have an interview with the three of us, because we wouldn't get through it. It would be just so fun, you know. But that, and also the love of and you're not gonna turn this around and keep, because this is your interview, but the love of music. I always loved music. My mom had me in music. My mom supported me. I danced with Arthur Cryer's daughters, and then I could sing. And I know Raheem don't even remember this, when he used to sing, when he was Todd, and he used to sing.
Yeah, he used to sing. Trust me. We used to, when we used to hear him sing in the building, we used to hit come Rob. Yeah. He was a singing something. But I think his mother and his father, going to Raheem house sometimes, and his mother could sing. Like, that lady could sing. I used to be like, damn, is this Stephanie Mills in here? She could sing. So I guess that's where he got that singing part from his mother or his father.
Yeah, and he could sing, and he inspired me. And I remember my family was going to Chicago, I think, and Arthur Cryer was like, oh, you could sing in my show. You know, we used to have a little singing group. And I didn't go, and I stayed back to sing, you know. Right. And so those are the memories that I remember. Always feeling safe, always having stuff to do, you know. Just it was magical when you look back, because I can't tell you a lot of hard stories. Sure, did we have fights growing up?
Yeah, of course.
That was not the major thing
right.
as a young child, you know, or a young adult. Things did change as I became a teenager or a young woman. Things changed, but it was still growing up was still it was a nice experience.
I'm gonna tell you, Mom, I want to share this, right? Just not to get off the subject, but all the enjoyment I had in Lambert, you know, we had our ups and downs, but we was one big family, regardless of what. I remember we going to play ball, and we going to other hoods and wrecking them in ball, but we all stuck together. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what. But all the times I shared, and I had great times there. But the one memory that it'll be my ultimate memory of Lambert. And God bless the dead, rest in peace, Little Man and Goody. I used to love, like, you know, they would come out and play ball. We was older than them, me and Ray, and we'd be talking junk to them. But in a sense, we still installing good things in them. You know what I'm saying? And those are to me, no disrespect to all the good times I had, but those spending time with Goody and Little Man was my best moments in Lambert. Because we was younger than them, but we used to be kids acting like kids like them. And then when they got a little older, they were busting our ass and ball. Me and Ray looking at each other like, bro, they it. You know what I'm saying? So rest in peace to those two brothers, and rest in peace to everybody that fell in Lambert, because I love them all. And they way too young, you know, way too young. Yeah. And I'm just talking about my best moments, like always gonna be in my head was those. And when I moved, they actually came and visited me when I was out of town. Wow. And they Goody came, he spent like a week. Little Man came, he spent a week with me, and I send their butts back home, you know. It's time for you to go home, but those are my best memories. They will always overshadow anything that I ever did in Lambert, spending that precious time with them two brothers. You know, they were like my little bros. Those was my little bros that I really, really loved. And I love them tough. I mean, I got other brothers that passed away that I love, but those my two youngest brothers that I really like. I could never forget them brothers, like the good times, laughing and their parents tell them they gotta be home before 9, and they try to hang out 10 after 9, and me and Ray said, oh, y'all in trouble. And Miss Barbara come in the window, little man, get up here. And I don't remember.
Mr. Goodwin didn't play. Mr. Goodwin.
Mr. Goodwin didn't play now.
No.
Someone, you know. But Lambert was an experience that you could never forget. And I love everybody that I grew up with. Like, we family, like we brothers and sisters.
Anyway, Ron, thank you so much. I love you.
You're welcome. Love you too.
You got my back all the time. I love it.
Definitely. Same here.
Thank you so much for doing the interview, Ron.
All right. You enjoy your day.